more matches. And we still have one here. This is Adi, Tri-State Zetter. Doesn't go to a lot of stuff. He's when he does go to stuff, he either does really, really well or kind of gets like 49.
Ooh.
So, yeah, he's getting edge guarded, but it's okay.
Yeah, this deep in the bracket, at the very least, be proud of a placing like this. But this is right on the verge of top 8.
No, this is loser top 8.
Oh yeah, this is for 7.
Loser, this gets 7th. And I definitely think Adi can pull this out. He lost earlier to Starbos, which is definitely a big upset. That was probably the biggest upset of the tournament so far. But, yeah, I'm trying to think what Zetterburns are even in Florida. Let's see if he might, just have this matchup, like a lot of it. But
Florida traditionally is such a widespread fighting game community because it's so big, and also its sub-regions are so well separated.
Absolutely, yeah. He's from Tampa specifically, and so he's got a lot of really good players there, but I don't think there's any like great Zetterburns. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, obviously he knows the matchup. He almost did it. He was like,
he really did.
He was like, I need to run into this up smash.
You see, he watched the last set and it was like, what if I didn't run into it?
And then, you know what? Here we are. He made the right call.
This is why we study VODs.
Unfortunately, he did not make the right decision there. But it's okay. You know what? This is game 1. He's probably, he just beat Zaro. The
Orcane?
Yeah, the Orcane that we saw. So he comes out in 9th place. So this is just a very different player from that kind of set. But it's looking like he's coming back,
This is a very active set.
DIing in really hard. But, sometimes you get a little spooked, especially against Rano.
Oh, he keeps on running into these songs. Now, I don't know if that's on purpose or not. He's taking little bits of damage, but there's not a lot of good follow-ups from Backpack.
Especially since they reduced it from 40 frames to 20.
It's almost like
stuck in the bubble.
Like Addy's going for these for the sake of just denying the movement.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, he's trying to just interrupt his game plan. He's like, I'm going to get hit by this, take 6%, but what do I get out of it? I get stage control. And that's one of the most important aspects of this game, is how well you can control the stage.
That's a very classical thought when it comes to platform fighters. Like, yeah, you're taking the beating, but if you have the stage, you still have your stocks. Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, you're still winning.
And he brought it right back. You can see Adi's really, really great at adapting and playing from behind. He can make the comeback always. You can never count him out.
Like, he has the game plan set.
Yeah, he's definitely a contender for one of the best Zetterburns in the game. I mean, especially since OBO stopped playing him. He's a Shovel Knight main now. He's definitely probably top 2, top 3. At least Zetterburn mains.
People who play Zetterburn, different category.
That's a much different category. Full streams in that category. All right, so that was a great recovery, and I mean, this leads into a really strong follow-up.
Ooh.
Yeah, 70% just because he decided to challenge him at the ledge.
See, one thing to note with that punish out of bubble compared to what we saw in game 1 is that there was a lot of the needle pressures and building up how long you could be in that bubble.
Exactly. Yeah, he had the poison stacks on him, so it made it really difficult. He's also doing the same thing here. He's like basically jabbing him with the needle to sort of reset his position. Oh man, yeah, just covers that option really well. I mean, he's shown that he can cover that, in both games now. I'm interested to see how Adi mixes this up. His combo game is also so strong. Just both of them really, but just Adi specifically, his combo game is really good.
And he almost got the punish on where the tongue would have moved him, but
absolutely
whipping the tongue ended up coming as a blessing this time around.
Oh no, he manages to. I think he was trying to run off turnaround shine for some reason, but would have been cool.
I think it's a very interesting approach to this matchup because I feel like he's focused a lot on where Backpack wants to be as opposed to like what he's doing where he is.
Yeah, he doesn't really care if he's going to do this stuff off stage with like the bubble or whatever. He doesn't need to interrupt that as long as he can intercept him before he gets to the stage, and that's, I think, how he approaches a lot of matchups. He doesn't really care what you're doing off stage so long as he can kill you for it.
Like that mentality of just keeping your eye on the ball no matter what, it feels especially good against a character like Rano, who, no pun intended, can be very slippery with his movement.
Absolutely, yeah. His recovery mix-ups are some of the strongest in the game. That was a great tech chase.
Ooh!
That was insane.
The follow-up!
His kill confirms are so strong. He's always been just so good at hitting things like the up air waveland up smash, the the up tilt up airs. He's just such a strong player. But sometimes he just gets a little inconsistent. He just waves lands onto stage.
He actually just walked. Like, he was really just big chilling.
Yeah, he was just ready to get on there. That's something that a lot of players don't do, is just wave land onto stage to really just to mix up that third option. You're not putting a hitbox out. You're not. Unfortunate. He just kind of SDs.
Yeah, no, he's playing around so much off stage. I mean, he had to come from out deep.
Yeah. That's why Adi just lets him do it. He's like, I can hit you if you get back, and I don't need to put myself in danger out there, possibly rescue you if you're in like a weird position. He's going to play solid. He's going to play clean. What's happening?
Double checking his controls.
I think he's changing his sensitivity a little bit. Oh, I think his stick has been maybe overshooting a little.
Yeah, I noticed coming into this that there was a tiny bit of drift towards the beginning, but I presume that was on purpose from the player.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, Adi's always had good movement, so I don't really know.
Stage bans are in place, so let's see how the follow-up goes.
I mean, so what kind of things do you think he's going to be looking for? I mean, I guess this is just a great stage in general.
I think in general, I would like to see more of Backpack sticking on stage. Because, like, a lot of the offstage play, he's forced to go through, like, every card in his deck to try and mix up what he's doing. And none of it's working because Adi doesn't care.
Yeah, he's just
like,
going to sit on stage.
Like, the frog's going to come back eventually. It's just a matter of, like, he's literally skipping the cutscene.
Yeah.
Like, it starts, he's mashing that button to get right back into the game.
Oh, no, the unfortunate SD from Adi.
That's one way to take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we take those. That is the big unifier of platform fighters and all fighting games in general. Adi trying to kill himself a second time. He's like, I don't need these stocks. Nobody needs these stocks.
The grand mix-up when you outplay yourself.
Yeah, he's really like, I want to see a fourth game. I don't want to look at the stage anymore.
Too many 3Ls in this top 8.
Oh, man. A great recovery. Okay, backpack, edge guarding. Just kind of lets him back on.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with this compared to the previous 2 games is Adi seems to be taking things to either center stage or somewhere that's like outside of where those rocks are in the middle as sort of like a signifier of spacing.
Yeah,
because he's forcing Backpack to just come deep in on him on stage. Like, there's a lot of opportunities for Rhino to move around off stage and return himself back to be it the platforms or the base. And Adi recognizes that, so he doesn't want to bother playing around. Just let him get back on stage and then win out in neutral again.
Some unfortunate DI. Adi's also letting him live to 190. So I mean, that's got to feel real bad when you USD'd early and then couldn't take the stock. It's going to be interesting to see if he can come back from this. Because even just from like a mindset perspective, that's such a mountain to climb.
Yeah, that's definitely the big shakeup. But at the same time, we got to this game 3 in such convincing fashion from Adi. So, like, I feel like the comeback is in order.
Yeah, and you know what? It's looking like he can do it. He's starting to interrupt him when he goes high with fireballs, force him to go low. He almost
Into the bubble!
Yeah. This is really smart coming from Adi, and then he's just going to challenge it, yeah. Because if he's not... it takes you have to input the the aerial out of that tongue sling almost immediately if you want it to come out and not trade. But that was
beautifully
clean.
spaced.
I think Adi can do this. I think maybe he's like in Backpack's head a little bit.
Because really the first 2 stocks that Adi had lost were due to his own merit.
Yeah, he definitely just kind of killed himself twice.
Like,
oh my god,
not
that was almost a
Backpack
double
was playing bad. It's just that Adi literally exploded and Backpack rolled with it.
Yeah, he's just taking advantage of what's here. But I mean, now Adi's in the lead almost. Like, it's real close here. Okay. Oh, that could have been a Dacus, and that's I haven't seen Backpack Dacus now that I think about it. And
he hasn't really spent a lot of time on the ground to even have the opportunity. He's been doing a ton of bubble or tongue movement, which, while very fancy, and is definitely keeping him alive, it's not really giving him anything substantial on stage. That being said, this man ducked 2 fireballs.
Yeah. They recently changed his crouching hurt box to be the same as Arcane. He just killed him. He shined the bubble for the first time. It was the only time he went out there to challenge him. And
he literally put him in a box and sent him away.
Yeah, he was like, We're shipping out, man. It's time to go home.
Amazon Prime, 2-day delivery right out of bracket.
Shipped him into the blast zone.